Headline news from Nature Reality. Flash flooding topples buildings and sweeps away cars in eastern China. June 28, 2024. Eastern China. Catastrophic flash flooding has wreaked havoc across parts of eastern China, toppling buildings and sweeping away cars as relentless rain continues to batter the region. The torrential downpours have resulted in widespread devastation, with emergency services stretched to their limits in a bid to rescue stranded residents and mitigate further damage. China's National Observatory has issued an urgent warning, forecasting more torrential rain for southern China in the coming days. The deluge, which began earlier this week, shows no sign of abating, raising fears of additional flooding and landslides. In Jiangxi Province, one of the hardest-hit areas, entire neighborhoods have been submerged. The local government reports that over 10,000 residents have been evacuated from low-lying areas, with emergency shelters set up to provide temporary accommodation. "We've never seen anything like this," said Lei Wei, a resident of Shangro, Jiangxi. "The water rose so quickly. Our house was flooded within minutes, and we barely had time to grab anything before escaping." In addition to the destruction of homes and infrastructure, the flooding has severely disrupted transportation networks. Major highways and rail lines are submerged, and several bridges have been washed away. Airports in the affected regions have also experienced significant delays and cancellations. The Chinese government has mobilized the military to assist with disaster relief efforts. Soldiers are working alongside local authorities to conduct search and rescue operations, distribute supplies, and reinforce flood defenses. "We are doing everything in our power to ensure the safety of our citizens," said Premier Li Keqiang in a statement. "Our thoughts are with those affected by this disaster, and we will provide all necessary support to help them rebuild their lives." The Ministry of Water Resources has also activated its highest level of emergency response, deploying teams to monitor and manage water levels in rivers and reservoirs across the region. Authorities are particularly concerned about the potential for dam breaches, which could exacerbate the flooding and lead to even greater loss of life and property. Meteorologists warn that the heavy rains are expected to persist, with some areas potentially receiving over 200 millimeters, nearly 8 inches, of rainfall in the next 24 hours. Residents in southern China are urged to remain vigilant, heed evacuation orders, and avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. As the situation unfolds, communities across eastern and southern China brace for the continued impact of this severe weather event, hoping for a respite from the relentless rains and a swift recovery from the damage already inflicted. In Shanghai, the heavy rain has caused severe urban flooding, with streets turning into rivers and many businesses forced to close. Public transportation has been heavily affected, with several subway lines partially suspended due to water ingress. City officials have urged residents to stay indoors and avoid non-essential travel. In Zhejiang, the situation is equally dire. The province has seen record rainfall, causing rivers to overflow and flood rural areas. Agricultural fields have been submerged, threatening the livelihoods of farmers. Emergency services are working around the clock to reinforce embankments and protect critical infrastructure. Hubei has also reported significant flooding, with water levels in the Yangtze River rising rapidly. Authorities are monitoring the Three Gorges Dam closely, as it reaches near maximum capacity. Residents downstream have been alerted to the potential for emergency water releases, which could result in further flooding. Environmentalists have raised concerns about the long-term impact of such severe flooding, particularly with regards to soil erosion and water quality. The runoff from industrial areas into floodwaters poses a risk of contamination, potentially affecting both human health and local ecosystems. As authorities continue to manage the immediate crisis, attention is also turning to long-term solutions to prevent such disasters in the future. Discussions are underway about investing in improved drainage systems, flood defenses, and better urban planning to mitigate the impact of extreme weather events. The coming days will be critical as the nation watches the weather forecast closely, hoping for a break in the relentless rain and a chance to begin the long process of recovery and rebuilding. News from Nature Reality.